see you.
Can't hear him.
His microphone's off.
All right, you got it?
Yeah, I got you.
Now we can hear you.
Yeah, I can see you. Well, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
How are we all doing over there?
Right
looks,
on.
like looks like you got some sunshine today.
Yeah, first time in a while. Actually, no, this weekend wasn't too bad. But how about them Bills?
I didn't see the game last night, buddy. What was the score?
41-40. We won on the last play of the game.
And who'd you play? Baltimore?
Baltimore. We came back. We were down 15 with 7 minutes, 50 seconds left, and we came back and won.
Nice. That's always good.
Yep. Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things.
I think we got to play you this year. I think it's going to be a tough game for us. I don't even think it's going to be a game. I think it's going to be a blowout. You guys are going to smoke us. So anyway, where are we at with the paving?
Still waiting for them to finish, get back here and start.
What about Eric? What about Eric?
I talked to the county, and they told, and then I called AT&T and Blue Street, and they were both supposed to be calling her to figure out how to get that in and get it done quick.
Well, I have to call AT&T today because if this is going to be the cost, I'm going to tell you right now, people are not going to be happy.
What, did you get the full, or did you get, because you don't need the 1 gig.
I got the 1 gig, and it was supposed to be $62.50.
Right.
So they charged me $62.50. Then they charged me $12 for my residual from the last contract. Okay, so I'm all right with that. We're at $74. And then they came in with all these taxes and everything else, and it came up to be over $100. And I said, no way. This is,
So
you
it should
said
be 85 then, you're telling me.
no, it should be $62.50, like they said, everything included.
Just gotta add taxes.
Okay, add taxes. 7% on $62.50
No,
is what?
it's different because you have to pay whatever the taxes are for that they pay for all that shit. It's on all your other bills too. But yeah,
Well,
it's never going to be 62. You always got to add the tax and whatever other fees they have. But,
so I'm going
but you can go down to the lower plan because you can need a gig. I mean,
I don't need a gig.
you're not running enough stuff to need a gig.
No, I don't.
You
run.
got a gig for
I run our TV and our 2 phones. That's it.
yeah, you can go down to at least
You mean a
500.
terabyte.
Gig,
Yeah, 1 gig. I don't need a gig.
gig speed, but you can get 500 megabytes.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's all.
1,500
1400 what?
gigabytes download speed.
You paying for a higher package?
$100.
For what?
I'm with Comcast, and I pay for 1,200, but I get 1,400 when I test
No,
them.
why are you paying for so much?
Just because I do all my online streaming and
Yeah, but you don't need that much.
but
Yeah,
they
but
don't.
streaming don't take nothing, Eric.
600.
Yeah.
You save a bunch of money. I mean, you're not ever going to use that speed. Jesus.
Well,
Yeah.
that's when you turn on an Xbox, you got to have a minimum of 800 because they're very
What's
fast,
that?
very big machines.
I know they're not fast for you. No, I
Yeah,
just said them.
I'd relook at that because that doesn't.
So. You see if Kirk was able to get on?
No one's on.
Just us. Of course. That's great. Guys,
Still got 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I know. Guys are terrible.
All right. Ooh.
Thank you for getting all the sound panels done with the guys.
It's no big deal, bro. I'll get them all stapled when I get back. You want to say hi, Bean? Say hi, Bean.
Hey, Bean.
I'll show you the deer. Hold
Send
on.
me pictures when you get a chance of what the area you're talking about.
Here, take a look. Ready? You see my driveway? That's my driveway. And that's
That's
the
close.
mountain.
That- that-
Yeah, that's the part that's eroding. And there are my weeds. I didn't know we got 8-foot weeds in Carolina. I came up here, Eric, and the whole house was full of weeds. I look like I look like a scumbag in the neighborhood.
3 megabytes,
I was white trash in the neighborhood.
50 to 100.
For Xbox?
Optimal's 50 to 100. So,
Anyway.
take your money, sir.
Oh, buddy. I need you go hide.
I have a gig because I work from home, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs it.
They're offering terabytes.
No, highest is 5 gigabytes from, AT&T's got the highest, it's gigabytes.
I think you're thinking, we're talking two
I'm
different.
talking speed,
Huh?
I'm talking speed,
Yeah, I'm talking
5 gig.
download speed.
same.
Yeah, same thing.
Download-
Gigabytes is bigger than terabytes.
the
Yeah, I
difference-
know, but they're,
The difference between Comcast and AT&T
Hey.
AT&T is, what do you call it? It's the same. Download,
Somebody
upload.
just showed up, Kevin.
Yeah, Dennis and George and are on.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
guys.
Hi, guys.
Oh, there we are. How we doing this morning? Dennis, is your voice on?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Dennis.
Hey, Kev.
Hey, George, how you
Hey,
doing?
Hey, just a minute before we get started. I talked to Jeff from Nearshore about that issue,
Right.
and we pretty much came to the conclusion, and I agree with his point, and he agreed with mine up to a point, but we're not really fixing anything if we do that. As far as that wire issue and the deterioration of the insulation and if we're looking for a fix to get us out 20 years or so many years, we're not fixing anything with the GFIs. We're only fixing one issue because there's two, obviously the safety and the wire condition and size, which is going to deteriorate. And he's worried as a contractor, our contractor, his advice, and I would do the same thing, is to fix it right, because if one of those lines blows up, then we're out and, digging. And like he said, there's going to be a time element where you got houses out of power totally for an undetermined period of time. I think, we got the money, worst comes to worst. We're at the end of the project. I think for the first phase, I think we should go ahead either with the engineering and the drawing and, put it out for bids. However we handle it, I think we need to address it and deal with it now, because we're not going to create anything but headache for somebody down the road, and it could be a year, 5 years, but I doubt whether it would be anywhere near like 20 years that we're trying to shoot for, in lifespan of the system.
Is that for the last transformer?
What?
Is that for the last transformer?
Yeah, it's for 8.
For
That
8.
issue over there, yeah, over there at 8, I had another idea, but it would only solve the safety problem with the GFIs, and plus the fact that we have other issues. Those breakers are obsolete, and they take up more space in the panel, the GFI breakers, than the ones that are in there. There's already 5 in that panel, and I don't think there's room to put those in, even if we could get them. And the shunt trip relay breakers are out of the question. So the whole thing, it was just a wild idea I had, but it would only solve the grounding safety issue. It wouldn't do anything to solve the wire size being under, because we got 100 amp wire fused at 250 amps. So, you know, how long can that go? Now, granted, it's been like that, but the deterioration of the insulation over the years, it's
Yeah.
doubtful that the GFI breaker would even hold on that wire in the condition it's in. And we don't want it to trip every time it rains. You know, there's a whole lot of other issues. So I think we got to just do what we were going to do and either hire an engineer, get drawings, put it out for bids, or whatever the board decides to do. You know, if you don't think you can get bids, give it to Nearshore, you know, on the basis that we tried to get bids and, you know, whatever we have to do. But I do think we got to address that and that other with the 3 houses now and just get this thing over with and move on.
Well,
Yeah,
they're looking at what,
Exactly.
500,000, Kev?
Right. Yeah,
And that
just for that one, you're talking $500,000.
Yeah, and that would that would finish all the electrical issues we have in there, right?
Everything we know, yes, that would bring the
Everything
entire
that
park
we-
up to the current standards. If we let that go, then we've got all the other transformers are done and the wire in the whole park is upgraded, and we would leave that one transformer 8 the way it was 50 years ago, you know, so it'd be like, yeah, I
It's
don't
not,
think,
it don't make no sense, but how much longer do they have on the first phase?
hang on 1 second. 4T, who is this? Can you identify yourself, please?
Is that Kurt?
That's me.
I think,
That's
all right,
Kurt.
I'm gonna move you over to a panelist. So you gotta hit yes when it comes up on your screen. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
As Soon as he gets over, we can start the meeting, Paul.
Okay. Who do we have? We got Randy on there?
I'll start the meeting and do roll call. You'll see what you got.
Okay.
I'm trying to move over. Hang on a sec.
All right.
All right, he's moved over. Go ahead, you start.
All right, everybody, good morning. We'll have a quick guest comments and concerns that are not on the agenda. We'll allow 3 minutes per person. Does anybody have anything they'd like to ask before we start this meeting?
Nothing.
All right, well, let's call the meeting to order. Excuse me. Let's take roll call. Kevin,
Yep.
Eric,
Yep.
Kurt, Kurt,
Kurt, you have to unmute.
Kurt's there though, right?
Now do you
Yeah, he's
hear me? Okay,
Yeah, now we hear you, Kurt.
you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you, Kurt.
Okay.
We can hear you.
All right. Tom Williams,
Nope.
not here. All right, Dennis?
Here.
All right. Mr. Klein,
I am here.
Mr. Hodges? Dana? Okay. How about Randy? Okay.
Got to unmute.
David?
I saw Randy.
Randy's here. Randy's here?
Yeah, he's got to unmute. Hang on, he's got to unmute.
Unmute, Randy.
I'm here.
Okay, Randy's here. David?
I'm here.
All right, and Gary?
I'm here.
All right, David, so all we're missing is Tom and Dana.
Got it.
Okay? All right, I'd like to get a motion to approve August 1st minutes, please.
Also move. Kurt,
Okay,
I'll
get a
second.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Who
So that was,
seconded?
Gary did, David. All right.
All in favor?
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Before we get this started, the reason we're calling this meeting was to get a resolution made by Dennis to send to the board for the updated seawall engineering plans. Kevin, myself, David, and Dennis have all looked at these engineering plans. We've all gone back to Will with concerns, and he's come back and addressed all the concerns. And unless David or Dennis has an issue with what the engineering shows, I believe that we need to get this resolution passed today and sent out to the board so we can get it passed on the board, so we can get the blueprints sent out to the contractors so we can get this thing rolling again. Can I get everybody's, can I get somebody to approve the resolution?
I would just, Paul, I would expand the resolution to allow it to go out for bidding, right? So approve the RFP and the drawings and allow it to go out for bidding.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
Now, have all you gotten this copy of the RFP that David wrote up?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, have anybody had a problem with anything on the RFP? Any
I'll ma-
problems with it?
I'll make a motion to accept the RFP and move the resolution to the board.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, George seconded it.
Got it.
All right. So the RFP and everything's intact. Go ahead, Kevin.
I just have a quick question on the RFP. I think we need to talk about how we wanna, number 5 in terms and conditions.
Okay, what's the concern?
That to go through maintenance. I don't think that's appropriate.
No, we did discuss that, David.
Yeah, I think we need to, the biggest thing with, the water and the 110, I mean, we can tell them to bring generators. Water's a different issue if they're gonna need it. I think we need to talk with the owners whose lots are getting done and, try to, when we tell them that the lots are being done and try to get permission from them at that time, if it's needed, then, would they allow that to happen on their property?
Right,
So-
I thought that you and I could go to the owners, Kevin, and discuss that with them. If you don't have the time, I have no problem doing that. I've already talked to John, I've talked to Jack. Jack's gonna call Paul. Those three right there and what's his name? In between John and Paul.
Jay,
Who?
Jay,
Yeah, Jay. They had no problem with it. They have no problem with it.
So
Um,
let me understand, Kevin, do you want to reword that? I'm only trying to tell the contractor that it will be available.
yeah, let's have it
Yeah,
go, have it go through me.
Yeah,
Go
have it
through
go
you.
through Kevin instead of maintenance.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. We don't want the maintenance committee having to, giving them any more than they have to have.
Also,
Okay, I got you.
number 6 may also be a problem.
What's number 6 there, Dennis?
That's, that you won't go onto the owner's property.
Well, we know that they're going to have to go on sometimes, Dennis. But we do not want them back and forth through the property.
They're gonna have to bring the concrete hose through their property.
Oh, of course they will. Yes.
So that should be, maybe that should be noted, because otherwise it looks like you're not gonna do it at all.
I think we probably should just say that the construction activity on land side should be limited.
Yeah.
We just
There you
want to
go.
this.
Yeah.
Because we just,
Yeah.
and don't give a feet, because they're gonna be walking back and forth, because some people are gonna drive to the site.
Right, yeah, don't
Right.
let them, we're not using it at all.
Yeah, I can reword that some. What I didn't want is for, lay down to occur on like RV lots and that sort of thing. But I can
No.
I can reword that to be limited.
Yeah, we're not gonna allow them to stack stuff on the RV lots, because you gotta remember, these people are still gonna be renting their properties. So we never know when a rental's gonna come in, and we cannot, have that,
Where they
hurting the
stack.
people's rentals.
Yeah. The
But
con-
yes, concrete will be going in and out.
Tired.
Bidders-
Um, We know the
Go ahead.
concrete's gonna have to go in and out of there. We are gonna have to discuss with the contractor how we're gonna get the 57 rock in there. Whether it's gonna come in on the barge or what, we'll have to figure that out.
That'd be wheelbarrows.
That's what I'm thinking, Kevin. Or they're gonna pile it up on the barge and they'll just dump it in there. I don't know. But yeah, I was thinking probably wheelbarrows myself, coming out of a dump truck.
I'm thinking they're gonna bring the
What's
barge
that?
over and, they're gonna bring the barge over and lock it in and not wanna go back and forth every day.
Right, I know that. That's what
Rock's gonna be out on the road and then they're gonna wheelbarrow it in.
and along with the material, we're gonna have to discuss that with the contractor, how they're gonna get it back and forth. If one of the bigger contractors comes in, he brings in two barges, one's holding the material, the other one's doing the work, that would be great. But I don't see that happening. Because nobody wants to tie up a second barge just to hold material. So that's gonna be something we're gonna have to discuss with the contractor. Now,
I can rewrite number 6 to say that laydown is limited to the first 9 feet and that access through properties will be limited.
right. Okay. Anybody have a problem with that? Okay, David, how about you rewrite that? Send that over to Dennis so he can get both of the resolutions sent to the board today, or whenever you got the time to do it.
Yeah, I can do it today.
I don't know what your schedule is. I can't say today. I apologize for that.
No,
Is there anything else that anybody else has any concerns before we
I
move
still have,
forward? Go ahead, Dennis.
I still have that one stipulation. I never really did understand, and David, maybe you can explain to me, but on the drawings, excuse me.
2.354.
Yeah, they're gonna cut the existing deck back 2.645 feet. We're going out 18 inches into the Gulf. That's 1.5 feet. Now, those numbers are good. I mean, but the overall, the drawing in multiple places, it says that we're building 5 feet of deck.
Yeah, there's a
No.
6-inch overhang. The structural deck on top of the tiling, the true line, there's a 6-inch overhang. So
Okay.
while the true line only goes 18 inches into the Gulf or into the ocean, into the water side, there's another 6 inches of overhang.
Okay.
So that gives you the total 5 foot of top slab.
All right, because I was looking at it from above on those drawings, and I could never get 5 feet. I could only get 4 point something feet.
Yeah, it's there. It's in that detail sheet, that last sheet. It shows 18 inches to the face of the true line, another 6 inches to the edge of the deck.
Into the deck. And then
It
it
gives you-
When I
it gives
reviewed that, I looked at that, it looked like 4 inches, but you say it's 6 inches?
No,
It's 6 inches on the,
Dennis.
yeah. So that
Okay.
gives you 3 foot of
It
cut.
goes 6 by 12.
So that would be added on to the, okay. Well, when I added up the numbers on the drawing, it looked to me like it was gonna fall short of that. And I'm okay with that. If everybody's okay, I'm good.
I mean, if they can cut back shorter, that would probably help too.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a house to house or lot to lot. Everything's gonna be different on each lot, but they can't go past that 18 inches from the true line, because that's what the county approves of going into encroachment into the ocean, because they don't want everybody to say, oh, okay, I own a piece of property. I can go out 10 feet and get all that land mass, and now that's all my property.
no,
No,
you answered my question when you said
Yeah.
if the true line itself can go 18, but the overhang can go further than that. Now I'm good.
Yeah, okay. All right. Anybody else have any?
Can
Go
I
ahead,
ask a
Randy.
question?
Yeah.
Why is there a 6-inch overhang?
That's
Yeah.
to protect the cap.
Yeah,
It's to protect the true line.
yeah,
It's to protect the true line, Randy. If you look in the drawings,
Okay,
anytime
well,
you,
that's-
anytime you do concrete, that's to protect the wall or the cap. You know, it's just part of the cap.
that's all well and good, but all these standards that we use around here for, our boat, docking
They're
standard.
they're gonna all be, the ones that are good standards all have a 45 degree or a 90 degree on them, which can be bolted through the face and the top. And they will be professionally installed by the contractor or be professionally reinstalled by the contractor. The other ones, we will have to do that, Randy. Again, a lot to lot thing. We may have to get spacers and put spacers behind them. You know, that's the only thing we can do. We can't make people buy the ones that, like you have and I have and a lot of other people have in there, the good standards. The ones that are out on the fuel dock and all around Venture Out, we can't make them buy them.
Oh,
So
no,
we have to-
I'm not asking to have them buy them. I'm just thinking about in the grand scheme of things, now we've got a 6-inch overhang that we have to deal with, or that, not us, we don't have to deal with it. The contractor has to deal with it, but just making sure that the anchorage for those things are the right thing. I
Well,
mean, everybody in
again-
this room knows to tie their boats up to the cleats, but you walk
Yeah.
around and some of these renters, are tying up to the dock bumpers. And we need to make sure that they're substantial enough for them to do that. Or they're
well,
going to be tearing them off every time they, a blow comes around.
Again, we're gonna have to look at that on a lot to lot basis and figure out what we can do to talk to the contractor and see what the best way to apply them and reattach them to the new product that we have.
Yeah,
I mean-
that front comes down 12 inches, or 12 inches. You got to flip
Yeah.
down. Most of the bumpers, your the secure point on the front's within that 12 foot, so you know.
12
you're gonna have
inches,
the
yeah.
top.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the one that's down in the bottom, that has that, you're going to get that pull back.
Yeah, and again, we can make it, we can figure out, we've got plenty of PVC starboard sitting in the maintenance yard. We can make anything we need, we can make spacers out of that, because it's going to be just sitting there doing nothing. We could use that for spacers. Eric's guys could cut what we need for the contractor, and when the contractor goes to reinstall them, we can drill holes through those spacers and they can reattach that. And we can address it that way when we get to that problem. You know what I'm saying? We have the material to do it with there. We don't have to buy the material. All we'd be spending is the money would be for the maintenance guys to actually, cut the product and then hand it to the contractor after he tells them what he wants. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think we can make it with the starboard that we have sitting in the maintenance yard, the spacers. And we all know that starboard is not going to rot away, and it's only going to be used as a spacer. And if you're concerned about tying it down in the bottom, we'll have no problem at that point.
Hey,
Okay.
Paul,
Just-
that starboard issue, you're talking about 6-inch offset there. That starboard's what, 3/4 or 1 inch? You're talking about 6 pieces of starboard for each spacer that you're gonna be stacking on there and
Yes, I
drilling.
know that. But there's nothing else we can do unless we get some type of aluminum or some type of, I wouldn't want to use any metal in the water. But there's really nothing else that we can do. The cap has got to have the overhang as per the plans, as per the engineer, as per True Line.
Well,
I've got a
what about
suggestion for a spacer. if you wanted to use spacers and you wanted to standardize it, a real simple one would be to buy a box beam, aluminum box beam that was the right diameter. And just
Of
cut,
course, but then I understand, I know what you're saying, a 6-inch
you
box
just cut
beam.
wafers off, cut wafers off the end of it, yeah.
Yeah, and we can do it that way. You know,
I'm
there's,
just thinking we should standardize, you know, if we can, if we're talking 6 inches
Right,
in every case, we need to buy, like Dennis said, a product that we can standardize and so that they all pretty much look the same. You know, if we're talking 6 inches everywhere, they should be able to mount either the aluminum bumpers that we have, like at the marina, you know, have the base big enough that they can fit that bolt pattern, or even the pipes. Like I got 3-inch PVC on my dock, you know, with one bolt through the center. You know, that could be adapted. So, I mean, maybe we ought to look at that because we're talking about a lot of spacers here.
Yeah, if you bought a 6-inch box beam and you just cut wafers off of it for spacers, you can do them all the same.
so we can look into that as we get to that problem. The first 10 units. Kevin, do you remember if any of them had PVC? Because I don't remember that any of them did.
I don't believe so.
So,
Yeah,
if you can do it,
most people have 2 bolts in the front, 2 on the top, and that's all they have.
you're right, exactly. Unfortunately, George, I'd like to get rid of the PVC.
Well, I mean, I would be amenable to whatever when the time comes. The other
Right.
thing we got to deal with is to make sure that nobody drills anything into that face of that top 12-inch where they're too close to the edge and the concrete busts out. You know, the reinstallation, I would say we got to make sure nobody's drilling anything into that 12-inch face of the cap.
The
No,
contractor's doing the reinstallation, so.
Yeah, the contractor's doing all the reinstallation, George. But I know what George is saying. We don't want the homeowners drilling into it after the fact,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And we can make it, we can make that, we can have the boards put something out there that, you know, we can't be, you know, drilling into the new concrete. You know,
Yeah, we can't control that. The biggest thing is gonna be if it's damaged by the homeowner, it's gonna be their responsibility to get it fixed.
right, so.
Yeah,
We
but
can address, again, we can address that at another, you know, the next meeting. We can figure something out that we can discuss it. We can take it to the board and, hey, look.
Do the
if the
homeowners need
damaged
a,
this-
do the homeowners need a permit from the park to be able to install a bumper?
Yes,
So that should solve that problem, I would think.
if
Of
they all
them-
did it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So what else do we have, gentlemen?
well, you're gonna have to do a friendly amendment to this so we can keep it moving along.
Well, David's going to redo the paperwork, Gary, and then he's going to send it over to Dennis.
Yeah, but
Right.
don't you want, if you want to get this to the board, it's got to be done before Thursday.
Okay?
No,
So
they-
if we, couldn't we, Kevin, do it as a friendly amendment to change in terms and conditions, number 5, change maintenance to the general manager, and then number 6, removing the fee?
I'll rewrite this right now and get it back out. It'll be
Number 6, limited access.
this morning.
But Gary,
Well,
yes,
Then I
Gary,
need to,
you can approve it with just that, yes. You can say with changing number 5 and 6 to what was discussed in the meeting and be good to go to the board.
and yeah, so that I'll add that friendly amendment and so we can keep this moving. We'll need a second on that.
Discuss
I
it.
second it.
So
I'm
then
sorry,
we would-
who seconded?
Dennis,
So we'll need to first vote for the friendly amendment and then for the initial one.
Okay. All in favor of the friendly amendment?
Aye.
Aye.
And what was the second one, Gary?
Well, now we go back to the original proposal of moving this RFP to the board.
Okay, can I get
That's already been motioned and seconded. We just need to vote.
Okay, all in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So the ayes have it.
This way now that he can make the changes and move it on.
Okay, not to be a stickler. Can Dennis second an amendment since he's only the liaison?
Dennis cannot, he's the board liaison.
So I need a second on that.
Turtle
I'll
second.
second.
Okay, thank you, just to clarify that. Sorry, Dennis.
Okay,
Just, sorry, buddy, I didn't want to come back and say we have to do it again.
Yes.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, I appreciate you waking up and doing this with me this morning. I want to get this moving. Real quick, Kevin, since we have everybody here and I know it's a short meeting, where's Eric with the seawall on the cap on the gas area?
They're waiting for the permit to come out of the county still.
Okay, still waiting on the permit. All right, anything else that any of you gentlemen have that you would like to discuss real quick?
Yeah, I
I need David to send me his
Yes,
copy
he
of
will.
the notes before
He will.
the next meeting, okay?
Okay, Dave will take care of everything for you. David's on that, Dennis. I really appreciate the work he's been doing for me. All right, Randy, I heard you back there. You got something?
Yeah, I just need to, I think you guys have addressed my whole issue of these two slabs connecting together. But what are we going to do about this? We got a 2% landward slope, to keep that water out of the canal. I understand that now. I didn't before.
Okay.
But what are we going to do to deal with that groundwater that's going to lay up on top of that slab?
There's not gonna be much groundwater there. By the time all said and done, we'll be lucky if we get a 1% slope. Nobody's gonna be putting a string line on it. Nobody's gonna be putting a level on it.
Yeah,
What do we
Randy,
do with the water? What do we do with the water that sits on the decks now, Randy? I mean, when it rains, I got water sitting on my deck right now. It dries up as quick as it rains. I mean,
Well,
there's not much.
I've got a good pitch on mine, so I don't get any water collection except
Right.
when we get in that extreme high tide, it'll
Right.
lay back up in there.
Right.
But I just kind of feel like should we put a little trench drain in there to drain that down into that
Yeah. You're not allowed to put anything that's going to recess back into the ocean.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about going back and just draining into the this 57 fill that we're using.
Right, and that would cause more erosion that we're trying to stop.
You're talking about like that expansion joint with the drain in it and just have it go right into the gravel.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, just to alleviate that groundwater that we're going to get to collect there.
And again,
And
the township would probably say no because it's draining right back into the rock. It's draining right back into the canal, which is going back into the ocean.
Randy, I can just tell you that when we were talking with Will basically said that, when the contractors do this, they're gonna try to get no slope at all. But
Right.
per county, to get the permits, to get the blueprints to go through, you gotta show that you're not putting water back into the canal. He goes, no one's gonna get a string line out there, but he goes, your contractor's gonna try to get that, as close to, so we don't get that pooling, was basically his reply to that when we asked him.
And I got an
Okay.
idea also, Randy. It's something that's been out for a long time. It's called a broom. Sorry, Randy.
Hey, that's okay. Look,
It's just, we gotta have to suffer a little bit to move ahead, and if it takes, after it rains, you gotta hit a broom on your deck a little bit. I mean, just push a little water. I don't foresee seeing a 2% grade. Just like Kevin said and Will said, they have to put it on the blueprints. But I don't see the I don't see the contractor at all. Me being a concrete guy, unless we had to have a slope, we had to run a string line, we just leveled everything off. So,
Fair enough.
But for some
I
reason,
don't really foresee we getting a lot of puddling, unless there's already puddling that's happening now.
well, see, that's going to be, you're going to have that in every different situation. Each one of these slabs, I mean, the homeowner slab may be pitching towards the canal anyhow. I mean,
Right.
I know mine is.
Yeah, mine is
Um,
also, and I think probably 99% of them are sloping to the canal. But like I said, and like Kevin said, you have to have it on the permit. So, again, we're gonna have to see how it works, and if we have to individually go out there and use a broom and push the water off a little bit in order to get a brand new seawall that's going to work perfect for what the application we're looking for, then I think that's just a very little, you know, problem to have to get all this work done. I mean, it's, to me, I don't see it being an issue. I don't mind if I have to go out there and do a little sweeping and, you know, would I probably get it done? I probably wouldn't because I gotta work so much. But, you know, in the heat, that water will dry so fast, it's not even gonna be funny. Now, I do see where you're saying with people like mid-rises, will it run to their doorway? No, it could. And then, that can be a problem, but right now I don't see it being a problem.
Yeah, Randy, I asked him about a French drain in the, and basically he wasn't for the idea of putting the water back down there, so.
okay, I just think there was this, if you guys are saying that this is just in for our drawing purposes, and that isn't going to be the way it ends up, that's the right thing. I mean, we got to get that water away from there, and that water laying up on top of these slabs isn't good for the concrete.
Yeah,
No,
a 1.2-inch slope wouldn't be that much fun to deal with, but if they're gonna probably flatten that out a bunch, that'll be great.
yeah, but we'll have to see what he does when he does the first one over in Paul's house. And we'll have to try to address it, going forward.
Conversation we have with the contractor that we pick, and I'm sure, I think we'll get it all squared away.
Yeah, they're gonna do what we want them to do anyway.
And I just
Right.
want to voice my opinion again about pinning these slabs together. I understand that everybody doesn't think that's necessary, but for the sake of an extra $100 right now, could save us thousands later if we had to pump
We're
one of those slabs up.
We discussed that with Will, Kevin and I, quite a few times. And he said there's no need to pin it. And if we did, if the slab in the back, the original slab started to shift, it could break the new slab. So he suggested not to pin it at all. Use the expansion joint, and I agree with him. And he says it's not going to, in his eyes, he's never seen one shift. Now, he's not running, a major project like this. Him being as old as it is, excuse me, being as old as it is. And again, that's something, if it seems that, it may shift, we will have to address that when we get there. But what I'm hoping when we pour in the 57 and the fill concrete in, that it stops all that shifting.
Okay, I just
And
wanted to,
again, Randy, we're only cutting 3 feet, 3.5 feet off the original slab. So we're really not, there's nothing holding that slab up there now except the front wall. So I don't see it shifting anyway.
Yeah, I had the same discussion with Will, and after talking with him, I thought not pinning it was probably the right answer. There's pros and cons to both, but I think not pinning it is the right answer.
Yeah, Will basically said he wouldn't pin a non-structural slab with a structural, somebody had said it.
Right.
Yeah. And that the new slab is not going to go anywhere. If anything would move, it would be the existing slab, but I don't see that happening either.
No, not when we backfill it and everything else. And
Right.
pour the fill concrete in there where it's needed. I think it's all gonna hold up again. It's all gonna be settled up and, and worst comes to worst, Randy, what we could do is we could always pop a hole in it and go get the foam guys out there and pop some foam in there.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If we put $100 worth of pins in there to save us $5,000 later, that's my only issue.
Yeah. But like the engineer said, I'm really leaning towards the engineer to know what he's talking about. And If he draws it and says it's not gonna happen, well, it's not gonna happen. It's on the engineer and the contractor.
All right, just so you
All
guys,
right.
just voicing my opinion, that's all.
We know, buddy. There's nothing wrong with that and we appreciate it.
I mean, it's just the uncompacted fill underneath of that. I'm not concerned about the slab that they're pouring. I'm more concerned about the existing slab. I mean, Christ,
Well,
we
you
don't know
just can't-
nothing about that. That damn thing
you
might not
can't
have
just
any
be out there
wire in it,
jumping up
might
and
not
down.
have any rebar in it or anything.
I think
They
what you're
probably
gonna,
don't.
I think what you're gonna find is when they pour that new slab, they're not gonna put any formwork in. They're gonna pour up against an expansion joint on the old slab. And you're gonna have over pour under that existing slab that won't allow that existing slab to move.
Exactly.
Well, another
Go
thing
ahead.
is, another thing to keep in mind too is that when Randy, when they drill those auger holes for the tiebacks, if there's a known existing void that wasn't encountered by an auger hole, they're gonna drill an additional hole. And then when they put the steel in it, when they fill those auger holes up with concrete with that steel in there to do the tieback, that should fill those voids underneath the existing slab. And
Okay.
that'll keep that existing slab supported.
All right. I'm just, you know, not the uncompacted fill part of it is probably what's got me most concerned. And we don't know what's going on underneath that other slab. So, okay,
Well-
you guys move on. That's, you know, you've
Well,
Answer.
they've measured the voids underneath the existing slab, and they're gonna be encountered by the auger holes. So that, cause that was a concern I had too, was, you know, how is that gonna be supported? But it looks to me like, from what I'm seeing, is that the auger holes will fulfill that necessary, when they're filled, that they'll fill that necessary void there to support that the remaining existing slab where it's not going to collapse.
Randy, to answer your question on compaction, them not vibrating or doing it, when it comes to sand or gravel, it hits almost at 90% when you lay it down. That's only on sand and gravel.
okay.
And that's just my background dealing with soil technicians. When we dealt with sand and all that, if you got moisture, it lays down at almost full compaction. So. I think
Okay.
that's why-
I mean, I'm just looking at this thing, you know, where there are auger holes are 10 feet apart. So there's some
Okay.
area, you know, that's kind of spaced out there.
Yeah,
But the 10 feet apart, Randy, you should hit all the holes that we have in there with the fill. And don't forget, they're gonna be concreting that in there, so the concrete's also gonna pour in there.
Okay.
I've been
Okay.
told, Randy, if they didn't encounter a big void that's mapped, they'll drill another hole.
Right. So, anything else, gentlemen?
We're almost done.
Just so you
Anything
know,
else?
Dana just joined the meeting. Dana was here.
Dana
Uh-huh.
was here?
Yeah.
Hello, Dana.
Hey, how we doing?
Okay.
Hey, a quick question, just clarify, how are they gonna find the voids under the existing slabs and what will they fill them with?
They're gonna be filling with 57 and fill concrete.
How do they find them?
They will be locating them when they do the auger holes.
They'll
To do
also
the
look-
tieback.
They're also gonna locate when they go and put in the true line, they're gonna see where the holes are in the front.
Yes. They're gonna be
Okay.
diving each lot.
Okay, kind of an important
Okay.
item, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the biggest thing with the auger holes, as Will said, those are movable, so if we need to do them 8 feet apart to hit those holes in the front, they can do that without a problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, absolutely. I'm asking him if he wants to go with.
That's the first time I'd heard they were diving each lot.
Well, they gotta get the true line
They
down.
have to get the true line. So, all right, gentlemen, do we have anything else?
Yeah, just one thing on the bathhouses, I don't know, just so everyone knows,
Can you say
So-
that one more time?
Say what?
Can you say that price one more time?
184,000.
184,000, and that is not including any material.
Not including the tile or the fixtures, so it'll be well over 200,000 from that contractor.
Wow.
Yeah, and you wonder why we can't get 3 freaking contracts. Okay, thanks, Kev. All
Hey,
right.
look, for 280,000, I think I'll take it.
We know where you're going, Randy.
I mean, look, it took a year to do the other bathhouse. Shit, I can do this son of a bitch by myself in a year.
I'll give you 125. That's my final offer.
I had said something about why can't we do this in house? I know it's a tremendous amount of work, but at that kind of monies, you know, I personally would love to get involved in that only because that was my trade. But I just think that price there is freaking unbelievable to me with no tile and no fixtures. Hell, he's got plenty of whatever.
Yeah, he's more than double than the other contractor. And when we get back,
Not double.
I'll talk to Kevin. We'll see what else we can get working on it. I've thought about maybe we can go in and demo it. We can demo the floor, have the maintenance committee or the maintenance crew demo the floor out. We can demo everything out. And then all we have to do is get a contractor in there to do the plumbing and a contractor to come in and lay the concrete and the tile work and all the rest of the work, you know, we can do as a maintenance committee. But we can do that in the next meeting. We can discuss that and see what everybody's thoughts are and see what legalities are. Can we do that in-house because of insurance reasons?
Yeah, you're gonna have some insurance. You're also
Yeah.
gonna have the getting the permits.
Well, that's why we sent somebody like you down there, Kev, to go get the permits. You know? So anyway, well, if nobody's got anything else, can I get somebody to
I got a quick question to Kevin.
Go ahead.
Kevin, how is Dan the man doing with the trimming?
He's starting this week. Last week it rained. He couldn't get here.
Oh,
Like-
okay.
We had rain, lightning and thunder all week, so he should be cutting this week.
Okay, good.
Who is Dan the man cutting?
He's doing the trimming on the fence line in the lot.
Oh, we got a new guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Dan the man is the man.
He's the man, huh? We'll see how long he's the man on that trimming.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Get a second for that?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I will see you next month. David, if you will put out the minutes, put everything out to who it needs to go to.
Yep,
And
I
then
will.
I'll talk to you later this week about getting the next meeting.
Paul and David, if
Yeah.
you guys can be available for the board meeting, just in case we have any other questions at the board meeting, you guys can be there to help answer them as well. It'd be great.
Will do.
What day is the board meeting?
Next
It's a-
Monday, 4:00.
The 15th.
The 15th at 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I can be there. I'll make it work. That's what you asked, Kev?
Sir.
Is that what you asked?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I can be there. 4 o'clock. Just remind me, Kev, that's all.
I will.
All right, guys. Well, you all have a good day. I'm going back to my vacation.
I'm going to
Have
the
fun.
beach.
Enjoy
All
it.
right.
See you
See
guys.
you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.